Hi guys, this is Dormouse03. Welcome back to my Dishonored Death of the Outsider 100% walkthrough. This is mission number 3, the bank job. And on this guide, we're going to be getting all of the achievements or trophies on this game. So that means all of the contracts, all of the paintings. I'm going to be showing you how to get the majority of the achievements or trophies on this first run. This is the first of 2. You're going to have to do a second playthrough on Original Game Plus mode in order to unlock your final achievement or achievements. It depends on whether you want to do your shadow run where you're not detected on your first or second run. And so I'd recommend doing it on the second one because in that one you won't be picking up collectibles and doing the contracts and that kind of thing. But I'm going to be showing you how to get a ghostly rank, I guess, checkbox, do everything without being detected on both playthroughs. So it just gives you some choice as to what you want to do. If you want to try to do the whole thing in stealth with all the contracts and everything, then that's what this is showing you. If you don't want to do that, then you can go ahead and wait until our second playthrough, and I'll show you how to do that on that one as well. So this is just starting off the level, and I'm just kind of showing you your options here. So at the end of the second video, I told you guys to take the skiff back out to end the level, and if you do that, then you can take the skiff to the start of mission 3, which is really cool because it bypasses a little section of the city. Now you can get here by displacing onto the balconies to your right if you take the carriage, and you can get to this exact same spot, but it cuts out a little bit of traversal, so that's cool. So the first thing that we want to do is get a painting. So this is going to be our first Cienfuegos painting of this level. And you're going to need to knock this guy on the boat out. So they shouldn't be alerted to you. None of these people should be upset with you for being around here. I'm just kind of waiting for this dude to turn around so that I can grab him. There he goes. And I'm going to knock him out. Nobody's going to really care or see that. And then there's a couple of ways that you can get into here. You can use foresight and go through the bars and displace inside, but an easier way to do this is to find the body that is up underneath this boat and loot the key off of it, and then you can go through the door. Why it didn't want to let me get back up on top of there, I do not know. But you open the door, and inside this boat are a few items, and it's kind of cool that they are worth kind of a bit of money because you're actually going to need somewhere around 500 coins to win the auction that's coming up here in a second, and that is for another achievement or trophy. And so you want to pick up all the stuff in here. The painting itself is worth 200 coins, so that's pretty cool. All in all, that should be about maybe 350 coins off of all of the stuff in this boat. So you shouldn't need to pick up too much more or to have saved too much more from previous levels in order to be able to win the auction. So there's your first Cienfuegos painting. And this also completes one of the contracts of the level. We haven't picked up the contracts yet, but that will complete one of them. And so I'm showing you here on the menu how you can locate your money. So if you go into mission items under your mission tab, at the bottom you can see how much money you had, and I know that might seem obvious, but it took me a while to figure out where exactly it was that my coins were located. And so you should have a bunch if you've been following this guide, unless you've been buying a ton of upgrades and things. And you know, if you have, that's okay. You just want to maybe go through and loot some of these buildings a little bit more thoroughly and grab a few more coins. And I'll tell you, the auction is a wee bit random. So I've tested it a few times. When you go up here, there are some more things that you can collect. So grabbing a bit more cash if you need it. The auction is a little random, and so I've had it sell me the lot or whatnot. I've won the auction with as little as 380 coins. I've also had as high as 500 coins, and I've tested it, I don't know, maybe 10 times to see what it was that it cost. And so that's kind of the range of coins that it costs you. You can reload, or you can make a save and then reload if it's costing more than you want to spend on it. But I mean, you should have the cash, and you should pretty much make it up based on the stuff that you grab. So if you talk to Teresa right there, that kind of activates the auction section of the game, and then you can go downstairs. There's a few more coins there, and we're going to be heading to the black market right now. And in addition to getting the achievement for winning the auction here, this also allows you to get the poppy tincture for a bit less than you'd ordinarily spend on it. So, but just to let you know, if you don't want to do this auction business, I'm going to pick up the contracts. You'll see that there's one done already, the Art Connoisseur. We did that by getting the painting. So anyway, the poppy tincture you can buy from the black market here for 800 coins, but you'll usually get it for less at the auction. I mean, I've never gotten it for more than 800. Like I said, my highest was 500. So, but I just wanted to show you that you can buy this poppy tincture, and this is the thing that's going to allow you to knock out everybody at the bank in order to do the perfect crime achievement or trophy a little bit later on, and to stealth through there without too much trouble. So they sell it here, and it's under the special section. For whatever reason, I thought it was under gear, but it's not. It's right there. Poppy tincture, 800 coins. I'm not going to buy it from here, but I'm just letting you know that you can. It's possible to do this without having to go up there and do that auction if you don't want to. So that is that. You can buy anything else that you want. The previous owner hadn't. You can buy upgrades if you want to. Like I said in the last videos, I bought the 3 upgrades for stealth. So silent running, silent sprint, or silent walking, silent sprinting, and the concealment finish. So those are the 3 upgrades that I bought for this. You can buy more of them if you want to, but I just tried to pick up the couple that I thought were most helpful in terms of getting through this on stealth and getting your shadow achievement or trophy. But feel free to buy or not buy those, depending. You probably will not get seen on the paths that I'm showing you, whether you have those things or not, but they're going to make it just that much easier for you. So that is my recommendation. Go ahead and buy more if you want to, if you have the cash, which you should, and you definitely should by the end of this run. So pretty much any of the upgrades that you want, you're probably going to be able to pick up. I am knocking this civilian out because I'm going to steal his face in order to go to the auction. You can't go to the auction as yourself because the guards are going to know that it's you. But you can go as a civilian. So I'd recommend you make a save just in case something goes awry. And then I'd also recommend you displace up here, drop this guy down, and use semblance on him about at this spot, because if you do it farther back, then you're going to have to walk farther, and then it might run out a little faster than it does for me. And you want it to stay on for as long as possible because you want to get up here and sit down. It's going to pause while you do the auction. And then you also want to have enough to be able to grab your painting and your poppy tincture and get out of the area without it running out. So this is the auction section. You just come in with semblance on, you sit down, and I found that it tended to give me a lower winning bid when I bid more often. I can't say if that's 100%, but it seemed like when I didn't bid, some of the other characters bid more. And so, I don't know, it's probably just random. But like I said, I've had it as low as 380 coins, as high as 500, and I believe in this playthrough I got it for 480. So you want to make sure you have, I'd say 500 coins just to be safe in order to do this. And you should be good with that. Like I said, make a save before you do this. Reload if it gets too expensive for you. And then give it another try, because it is randomized. It's not like per playthrough. You can reload it and it'll be a different final cost if you reload it a few times. So there we go. He's at his final little spiel here, and he's selling it to me for 480 coins. And then once that's over, you just stand up. There's your achievement or trophy, big time player, and you're going to want to go to the left over here to pick up the poppy tincture and painting number 2 for this mission. And so then you want to just get out of here. You'll notice that semblance should be running sort of low. I like to go down this way because people can't really see you down here once you get past that lady on the left. And then you can just open the door and head on out. And now we're going to be making our way toward the bank. There is one other contract that you'll do before you get actually inside the bank. And that one's pretty easy. It's just pickpocketing a guard, one particular guard that's on our way. And so shouldn't be anything too stressful. This path that I'm taking right now is pretty safe in terms of people not being able to see you. And now you can try to displace over to the right, but it gets a little bit wonky because that lip on the edge of the building right there up underneath the gate or fence, I guess is what I'm trying to say, not gate, is a little bit, it's very narrow. And so I was up there and I went that way when I was on mission number 2, but it's kind of finicky to get up there, especially from the side that I was on. So this way is a little bit safer way to get up through this building right here. And then from here, you can get inside the area that you want to go to. And now I'm gonna get up on top of this pole. You can get up on top of this pole, but I'm actually going to recommend you go a different way. So don't worry about getting up here unless you just want to get kind of the lay of the land. We're going to be going to that guard tower that's straight across from me right here, right there. It's got the guard in it that we want to pickpocket for our Pickpocketer's Delight, or Pickpocket's Delight contract. And so don't worry about getting up on top of the place that I'm on. Unless, like I said, you just want to get the lay of the land, mark some guards, like I'm doing, mark some of these wolfhounds, that kind of thing. And so I'm going to get down from here. And I find that the best way to get to that guard that's in the guard station is to go up on the other side of this fence. And so what I'm doing is I'm waiting for this guard that's on my left to get to a good location so that I can displace down into the little trench that goes up underneath the stairs. And unfortunately, the guards are situated in a position where I just couldn't see where they were, because you've got this one that patrols down there, and you've got the other one that sort of patrols up here. And you just want to make sure that they are not going to see you. And so again, it's a little bit of a waiting game, as is the case in Dishonored, oftentimes. But that is okay. So this guy is going to turn his back to me. And the other guy is walking forward. And so neither of them are really going to be able to see me now. And I can get down here and move forward. And so this is a good location down here. You're not very visible. And you can usually get to where you need to go. You just want to be careful of that guy right there. And then the other guy also walks over, and he's going to turn around, so he's probably not going to see you, but you want to be careful there, because you are sort of in an exposed position once you get onto these little awnings, because they can see you pretty easily there if they're turned toward you. So you want to just get up onto this guard post, and this is exactly the spot that we want to be. The guard is down there, and you just want to make sure that he is turned in such a way that he's not going to see you, and that other guards are not walking past. I really like the mark mechanics. I like that a lot. Because unlike the, what is it called? The vision, the dark vision that you get in the original Game Plus playthrough, the foresight, when you mark people, then you get out of foresight, and then they're just permanently marked. You don't have to keep using it. And they only get unmarked if you mark more than, I think, 4 people. And then you're not using your void energy in order to see where people are, because you've already got them marked, which is awesome. So from here, there are a couple of different ways that you can go. You can go to the left here, You can go to the right over there. There are a few ways into this building. You can go down the sewers down there. You have to get a wrench from a guy who's over on the left. You can go find a key to go in through the trash chute. The key is on a guy who fell down a cliff to our right. And you can also go the way that we're going to go, which is up the lift. And so I'm sitting here, I'm waiting for these dogs to get out of the way, and then I'm going to quickly move across that statue to this balcony over here. And then I'm going to be headed over across from me. Now, there are going to be two enemies that you're going to want to take out over here. And so the first is a guard that patrols back and forth. And so we're going to mark him. He's here. And then the second is this wolfhound. And so those are the two enemies that you have to tackle when you are going this way. What we have to do in order to knock people out is get to the roof. And in order to get to the roof, we have to get a canister of whale oil to power a painter's lift that's over behind us. And so I'm just kind of waiting because the guard just did his little walk. And so now I have to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait in order for him to move back again. But you can see he's moving now. He's going to get up and he's going to do his little cycle, which is what we want. And so here he comes. Here I am just waiting for him. And he's going to walk right in a perfect spot for me to just grab him. And there we go. That is one half of our problem solved. Because you don't really want to be messing with enemies being in your way when you're trying to carry this stupid whale oil. Because I don't think you can blink with it or displace with it. This is another fantastic moment for a save, as I am demonstrating, because this is easy to mess up. This dog has way too much sensitivity sometimes. He can smell you from pretty far away. So you can use foresight to place a marker around behind the wolfhound and then displace back behind him, which is nice. You see how he got alerted and I didn't make any noise. I was just behind him. Like, he wasn't alerted. He didn't see me. The thing didn't even have the red outline to the lightning bolt. But he was starting to get alerted. And, I mean, that is ridiculous. The sensitivity on those dogs. So anyway, there are a couple things that you can pick up here. If you need some more electrical bursts, there's a couple there. So the key that you would pick up from the guy over on the cliff in the direction where we're about to go, I'll show you where he is. But the guy with the key opens that door. And that's the way you go into the trash bin if you want to go in that way. It's really neat how there are multiple paths to this thing and choice as to what you want to do. But since we're trying to get all of the achievements or trophies, this is the way that you want to do it, because this is how you're going to knock everybody out for the perfect crime. So I'm taking this whale oil over here, and you want to put it in this machine, but first you have to take the other one out. that in there, and then you can use it. I don't know why I opened this, because if you push that button, it's gonna pop the whale oil out, and you don't want to do that. So don't push that. And I'm just showing you right here that the guy with the key, just because, I don't know, I wanted to show you that there are multiple ways you can do this if you're just playing. So the body down there will have the key on it to go in through the sewer. Not the sewer, the trash. And we'll be meeting that guy on our way out at the very end of the level, which is pretty neat. So we pull this lever, and then we're going to be able to displace onto the roof up here. There are going to be 3 enemies that you need to deal with, and then you're going to be golden to get inside the building. And pretty much from there, you're going to be golden in terms of getting through the building, because everybody in there besides 2 clockwork soldiers are going to be knocked out. And so all you have to do is be quiet and not step on them. And then avoid the clockwork soldiers, and then you're good. So, not too terrible. Alright. So here we go. We're going to knock out this lady right here. And I don't know if I mentioned it before when I pickpocketed that guard, but that was all you had to do for that one contract. You had to pickpocket the guard, and you needed to not alert anybody in the area. And so if you alerted anyone in the area, even after you'd done the pickpocketing, that will void that contract. And so I don't think I mentioned that at the time, because I was busy talking about something else that I'm sure was extremely important. But that was that contract done. So I'm showing you right now my bone charms. As I've mentioned in my previous 2 videos, I'm only using the agility one because I believe that one is a guaranteed pickup in the first mission. I don't think that I even ever really use it. I mean, I think a couple of times to just jump into a window or something instead of having to displace into it, but nothing that really is all that necessary. And so if you don't have that bone charm and you don't have it on, it's no big deal. I used it because I don't know, I like it. And like I said, I think it's a guaranteed one. But you don't have to have it. And I'm not using any of the others because they appear to be sort of random. And I didn't want to use things or tell you to use things that you might not have. So I used one that was fairly innocuous. And I was trying to see if there was something I could get behind there. And I actually, as I'm watching this back, I think there was a little hole that was open back there that I probably could have hidden in, but I didn't see it at the time. And that's okay, because we're just going to wait until this guy does his next little circuit. And then I'm gonna use my foresight marker and displace around behind him and take him out. And then there's only one last guard. And again, you just wait for him to move, get around behind him, and you're good. I think this guy he turns to the left, and I thought he turned to the right, and so I displaced a little bit too far up So I almost put it at a bad spot, but I was okay. But you want to be aware of that and make sure that you put it a little bit more to your right. So yeah, if you put it more around in that area, you'll be better off. Here is the place where you drop your poppy tincture into this air duct, and then that gives everybody some sleepy time, which is nice. There's a couple more electrical bursts over here if you need those, which you probably don't, not on this mission, because now everybody else from here should be knocked out.
Now for the difficult part.
And so, gonna head downstairs, and you want to be careful around these bodies, as Billy is telling me right now, that if you make too much noise or if you step on them, you're gonna wake them up. So you just want to be really careful. Inch your way along. Gonna push this button, and that's gonna allow me to get to this area right here, and we're gonna pick up painting number 3 on this level. And so there you go, that is the 3rd painting, and so we have one more painting to go. Pretty good. And now I'm just concerning myself with getting into the next area of this level. And so you can go into this little control room right here, and you don't want to push that big red button. You want to push these little buttons and make sure that they're all green. The only one that really matters is the one that's to the inner atrium, I believe. The service door is also kind of good because you can use that to get a better path. I'd just open them all, just for the sake of ease. And so the only things, there was the button to get out of here if you didn't open it. That's the teller's office. So the only real obstacle in between you and the end of the level right now are a few traps that will electrocute you if you get too close to them. And so there they are. Yay, electrical traps. And your best bet here is going to be to go into this service door over here, which is why I told you to open it. And from here, you can just walk through this way, pickpocket this guard, because that's necessary. It's not. I'm kidding. Sarcasm. And displace up onto this light fixture, and once you get up here, the little machines won't be able to fry you, which is nice. I've displaced onto that middle one before and been fried, so I don't know if I was hanging too far off the ledge or what happened there, but be careful up on these little fixtures. And then you displace as close as you can to the door and then move forward. From here, you want to get up onto the second story, and so you displace onto that little lip and climb on up, and then you can get into this next area by using your foresight to place a displace marker through the little grates right here. And so it would be helpful if you push yours a little farther forward than I do mine, because I can barely see it from where I am. But, and I don't know about you guys, but like this mechanic. I like being able to use the foresight to place something and then being able to displace through a gate or a window or something like that. Like, I like that. I think that makes for some interesting possibilities. But yeah, like I said, if you place it a little bit farther forward, you'll be able to see that a bit better. But there you have it. And so we are going to head downstairs. And actually, I changed my mind about walking through that area. I think it is safer to just take the elevator down. Because as much as you think that this makes more noise, nobody's going to see you on the elevator. So I'm taking the elevator down. And we want to go to the archives area. And the reason for that is twofold. Number one, our last painting is down there. So we're going to get our achievement or trophy, Art Aficionado, for that. And number two, we're going to be able to complete a contract that's down here. And so there should be one clockwork soldier patrolling around. I believe this is the clockwork soldier that you saw going down the stairs when I was placing my foresight marker. I think that this is him. And so you just want to make sure that that guy is turned around. There are a few things that you can loot down here if you want to. I didn't really do too much of that because at this point there's nothing else that you really need to buy. And so I didn't worry too terribly about getting that. Your only concern here is that soldier guy. So, and your other concern in here is stepping on this guy that's on the floor. He can be a real pain in the butt when you're trying to get to all of these safes. And so just be really careful of him. So there are a few of these lockers that you can open. You saw that it gave you a mission clue on him. And that's for another way to get into the vault, but that's not the way that you want to do it for all of the achievements or trophies. So you don't really need to loot him or touch him. You're not going to use that, but that code you can give to a guy through a speaker and he'll open some doors and allow you to move the vault. But if you do that, you're going to alert some people, and that's not good. So 379 is the code to this safe. There's really nothing in here except for a note that gives you a little bit of lore and then something that you can pick up as voltaic shot. So that locker isn't really useful. This second locker is a fun little Easter egg and a contract to complete. And so be careful of this guy's arm. You just want to be very careful edging up here. And so you'll see that this is Morgan Yu's safe, and Morgan Yu is your main character in the game Prey. So that was a nice little Easter egg there for folks who've played Prey, and I hope that you have, because Prey was quite fun. So 315 is the code to that safe. It's in the contract description, and you just want to grab the gemstone out of it, and that completes your contract. Rags to riches to rags. And then the last thing that you can do down here, Mr. Galvani has a safe down here, and if you recognize this guy's name, he is the person that you robbed in Dishonored 2 twice. Once at the beginning and once at the end. And so he never changes his codes. So it's 287, the same as it was in Dishonored 2. And this was another fun little Easter egg, because there was a note that you could find on one of the bankers upstairs on one of their desks. And it said how he was complaining about, getting robbed, but he refused to change his code and that kind of thing. So it's just amusing. And it's 287. And so I got back up on top of here just because I wanted to be safe from that clockwork soldier, but I am. And so now that I see where he is, I know that I can get down here and grab our last painting. I could have grabbed it just then, but I didn't. And I could have grabbed it at the beginning, but I didn't. So this was just me taking much longer than necessary. I think I just was confused because it didn't look like it was there to me for some reason, because it looked almost all black. And I was like, what happened to my painting? But it was just me being silly. So right down here is our last painting of the game, the fourth one of this level. And you pick it up, and you pick up your achievement or trophy, Art Aficionado, to collect all of these Cienfuegos paintings. And then you just make your way out of here. And just be careful, because if you touch the little electrified floor there at all, it'll just insta-kill you. So be careful. Now we want to go all the way up to the top, to the director's office. And there are a couple of story-related things to do up here, and our last contract of the level to complete. And so there are some things to loot. And so if you want to buy stuff after this level, you should have tons of coins, and you don't even really have to get off the beaten path. You copy the ledger in order to get quiet as a mouse, and the other caveat to quiet as a mouse is you need to not alert anyone. You need to not be detected. So that shouldn't happen. Push this button up underneath her desk, and you're going to then be able to pick up some mission clues. So there should be a key right here, and a bone charm, and a silver graph. So you pick up the key, you inspect the silver graph, and you get some more information about what is going on and where to go next, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, like I said, you don't really have to go far out of the beaten path to grab a bunch of high value items on this particular mission. So you should have a ton after the end of it, where you've completed all your contracts and have all the stuff that you picked up. So if there's any final things that you want to purchase, now is a good time, or after this mission is a good time to do that. So I realized that there was somebody's body who was fairly wealthy who I hadn't robbed, and that was just a shame. So I had to go back and rob her. It was very important. So you want to displace up on top of the elevator and then get up into this room on top. You want to make a save in here, because there's another one of those machines that will electrocute you if you get within its line of sight. And so you just want to be careful in this room. It's a bit finicky, but places where I saved deliberately, I was like, I'm going to leave this in the guide because people need to know that they want to save here, because it can be dirty and just kill you. So you want to get underneath here as quickly as possible. And then you want to move, and I would suggest displacing here for both of these moves, because you want to make sure that you're behind something. So displacing behind that middle thing, and then you want to jam your displace marker as far into the back right corner or back left corner as you can. And sometimes, like, you'll see it fall apart like that, and that means you just didn't place it in a location where you can actually displace. But there we go. I'm going to leave it right there, and I'm going to displace into this little room and hope that the machine isn't going to see me. So here I am in this room. You'll notice that I can't see the machine, and therefore the machine cannot see me, and so I'm good. So you open the drawer, and then you're going to grab this lever out of it.
I could get that vault moving with a little note.
And this is going to allow you to drop the vault, which is an achievement or trophy in and of itself. And it's also going to allow you to get out of the bank without alerting anyone. How dropping the safe through the floor doesn't alert anybody, I do not know. However, it doesn't. So I made another little safety save there because you just want to be careful. And this is not a great position to do this displace thing from. I was hoping that I was going to be able to see my marker by leaning out, but you can't really. And so I'd recommend displacing back to the little middle column or middle piece of cover, and then using your foresight to put yourself in that little hatch, and then displacing from here. That's just a much safer way to do it. And then you're going to get down on top of the vault, and there are 4 little hatches that you open, and you'll use the little lever in each one of them and pull it up in order to release each one of these cables that's holding the vault in place. And then you don't have to do anything on the way down. You know, you don't have to worry about taking any damage or falling off. It'll just fall, and you'll fall right along with it, and you'll be okay. So here we go. That seems to make a ton of noise, but these people were very, very knocked out, I guess. And so there is your achievement or trophy, Party Crasher, to send the vault crashing through the floor, which apparently is the stealthy option, which is kind of neat. So we're going to go down here. We're going to open the bank vault. And there's a couple of things to do in here. So there is an achievement or trophy to open all of these safes within this vault. And the codes for these go by the Fibonacci sequence. And so that's basically just having numbers that then you add the last 2 numbers together to get the next number. And so it goes in a sequence kind of like that. So it's 0, 1, 1 on this first one. So 0 and 1, and then 0 plus 1 is 1. And then it's going to go like that for each of them. The only thing is you're going to have to count. You're going to have to take off 3 of them for this one that the 2 keys goes into. And so I'll show you what that means. So it's 0, 1, 1. And then the next number would be 2. Next number would be, there we go, 2. The next number would be 3. And then the next number is 5. And whenever you get the numbers, all 3 numbers right, it'll give you a little click. It'll kind of click in place. Then the next number on here is 8. And the next one is 13. So that clicks into place. And then 8 plus 13 is 21. And so 21 would be the first two numbers there. And 21 plus 13 is 34. So 3 would have been the last number on the other safe. And so then you put the 4 in. And then it's 5 on that last one. But you saw how we had to skip those 3 numbers. That was the little trick there. And then the last 3 are 89 for 89. And then 1 because the last number would be 144, but there's no room for the 44. It's just the 1. So there it is. Obsessive Safe-cracker opened every safe inside the main vault. That's the code. That's how you solve it. And now you can loot all of this stuff. So I thought that's kind of cool. The Fibonacci sequence is kind of one of those ones that it's really well known in terms of like mathematical sequences. And so it was kind of neat that they used it here. And the only thing that is a little bit tricky is that you have to skip 3 of those numbers in the middle of the sequence to account for the one that has the 2 keys. And so once you loot all of the stuff in here, then you want to put your 2 keys in and grab the sword. Or twin-bladed knife, as it were.
You and I were... What does the outsider want from me?
And so there you go. You're going to have that. And now you have twin-bladed knife, which is pretty cool. And I love these like little void things. And so it's really neat aesthetically. Looking at that sword that kind of shifts and changes a little bit. And now the only thing that we have left to do is to get out of here and back to the skiff to end the level. So nothing too taxing. And you should have your achievement or trophy pop for the perfect crime once you exit out of the bank. So there you go, the perfect crime. Emptied the vault without tampering with any of the security systems and leaving everybody asleep and unharmed. So there you go. We can come out through this little cliff, and as you can see, there's the key that you would have picked up if you wanted to go through the trash chute. But no reason to do that if you're trying to get all of your achievements or trophies, because that's not going to really help you very much. And so, going to get out of here same way we got in, along these balconies. And back across the statue over here. So I'm just waiting for some of these wolfhounds to be out of sniffing range. And then I'm going to quickly displace up onto that statue and over here. I like to move past that middle section quickly because you're just really exposed in that position. And so on the way back out, you just want to make sure that you're aware of where everyone is on the level, because you don't want to be moving to a location where people are going to be seeing you easily. But everybody is on the right path right now, and you're going to be able to move. So you just make sure that there's nobody over on the right side of this area, and then you can move along here pretty easily. This is the same path that we used for part of mission 2. And there should be a pretty clear path from here to the end of the level, which is cool. This room right here was a place that you could have gone for some mission information at the beginning, and that told you about the guy who was on the cliff with the key. But in a sign of good game design, you don't have to find that note in order to find the guy with the key, which is nice. I like that they do that. And I like that, you know, if you know the code to some of the safes, you can just put it in. I like that is part of the design of this game, where certain things are randomized, but other things you're able to just bypass certain sections if you already know the answer to certain things. And so I think that that's very, very cool. In any case, we're coming up to the end of this mission. You want to take the skiff out of here because it just cuts off a little bit of the level, and there are guards patrolling by the carriage. So there you are. You have not killed anyone if you followed this, and we got our ghostly never detected ticked off. And so we have one alarm that was rung. I think that happens when the vault crashes through the floor. That automatically triggers an alarm. But you can have that alarm go off and still get full stealth, which is very nice and all you need for your achievement or trophy shadow. So, and obviously all you needed for your achievement or trophy, the perfect crime. So that's pretty cool. We also did find all of the paintings, and we did all of the contracts on this level. So we are on track for completing all the contracts on our next mission and getting that achievement or trophy. And we've already dealt with all of the collectibles because the paintings are now done. So there you go. That was mission 3. I hope that this was helpful to you and that you enjoyed watching. And I will see you in mission number 4.